That's right, I forgot. I got the green screen on. Let's turn that off real quick. There we go. Okay. It's been 2 weeks. It's time for a new One Piece chapter review. After we read through it, of course. So, it's been 2 weeks. One Piece has not been on my mind for a while. Outside of watching the anime, because we're in the middle of Kuma's flashback still in the anime, and that's actually been quite fun. And as someone has pointed out to me, there's been several instances of the animators sneaking some memes into the anime. And just in Kuma's flashback alone, there's the guy looking up, really scared meme. There's a Kuma Wojak going where he points off to the side, and a few others that I've spotted personally. But that's just this is a fun time to be watching the anime. I still think Toei's pacing is a little bit on the slow end. I wish they were adapting more than a chapter per episode. But I understand that they don't want to catch up. But we just had a long hiatus, and personally, I would prefer if One Piece would be seasonal. We're taking a seasonal approach now, but I'm not sure if it was worth it, because current seasonal One Piece in the anime is just currently the same show, except they're taking time off to deliver basically the same show at a... It looks shinier, but it's actually still the same horrible pacing. It doesn't actually fix the problem. I would rather have something be animated terribly, but have good pacing, personally. While we're on the premise of complaining about stuff in One Piece, I guess it's time for my weekly Wano rant, because it's time for us to start reading Chapter 1152, A Horrible Day. Right after I plug the Discord, because that's the best way to be informed on what I'm going to be doing every day and when I'm going to be doing it. We do these reactions live at twitch.tv/sheetstreams, and all the plugs are out of the way. So, without further ado, One Piece, Chapter 1152, A Horrible Day. And we have, get ready for the tone, it's coming back, Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 36. Otama's Amigasa hat delivered. I think I correctly predicted this in last week's chapter. Or not last week's, 2 weeks ago's chapter. To Kawamatsu, Daimyo of Hakamai. And he is indeed the Daimyo of Hakamai. So we had a filler sumo wrestling match last week. And now we have a hat being delivered to Kawamatsu. And also, we got page 1 on page 1! I'm always going to celebrate page 1 on page 1. Because it's iconic. It's going to be a meme associated with my watch through / read through of the Elbaph arc. Page 1 on page 1. Thank you, Wano cover story. We can see the sumo wrestler beat up with a lump on his head over in the background. And beyond that, we don't have much more interesting stuff here, besides like a little thought bubble of Tama making the hat. And now that I have basically described everything of note that's on this page, maybe some of the villagers in the background are recognizable, but I personally don't remember them. Because if a character isn't like named explicitly, it's hard enough to remember them. And if they only have their name said like one time, it's not enough for me to commit it to memory. There are people that I meet every single day that have only had their name told to me once or twice, and I don't know their names. If you want me to know your name, you gotta say it to me multiple times across multiple meetings, or I'm not gonna remember. I'm just name blind, I guess you could say. I remember faces, not names. Anywho, I think we've complained about the Wano just a little bit too much. So I guess we'll do a little mini prediction zone. We're now in we're done in Hakamai, which means next chapter will be on our way to Ringo, and then maybe we'll get another distraction on the way to Ringo, then we'll get to Ringo, and then from Ringo, back to the Flower Capital, and then arriving in the Flower Capital. So I think we're going to have 40-ish to 40 to 42. So let's see. Let's count that out again. Head to Ringo. Something happens on the way to Ringo. Arrive in Ringo. Head to the Flower Capital. Something happens on the way to the Flower Capital. Arrive at the Flower Capital. And then maybe 1 or 2 chapters of I'm now leaving Wano. I've left Wano. So that's 8 possible chapters left of this cover story. If we keep going at the pace that we've been going at. Which means 44 might be the end total of this cover story's serialized. Which I think will put it in the running for one of the longest cover stories. I forget which one is the longest one currently. I want to say it was the Karubu cover story, but I don't remember. And oh wow, we've been going for 7 minutes. Let's just move on. Page 2 time. Everyone give your salutes to page 1 on page 1, because we're moving to page 2. I wasn't turning the page. Alright. I need a little bit of a refresher for what's happening. Right, we finally caught up with Luffy and the gang last chapter, so now we need to catch up with, I guess we need to start. They were on their way to a lift. Yep, hurry to the lift. Do your best with that fool, Gerd. Alright. Who's talking to Gerd? Take care, you guys. Ultra rare Gerd, I will give it my all. Poor Roto. Make it snappy, Harden. The lift is literally like a boat that I think that they pulley chain up to the top. Is my way of describing it currently. Gotta go. Now, so Chopper's gonna stay behind. That's fine. There's 2 injured people here. We got Gabon injured and we got Loki injured. Leaving Chopper behind is fine. We can't move Mr. Yaw when he's so badly injured. Alright, thanks, Chopper. Oh, Mr. Yaw's got something to say. A Straw Hat Luffy. Make a mental note of how you use your color of the Supreme King. They are not immortal. Thanks, I got this one. I'm gonna save Colin and everyone else. You've helped me see the sense of it, Gabon. I wasn't able to verbalize my own power. What is Loki saying? And in that case, I have experienced it for myself. The Holy Knights can be stopped. Undo my cuffs and take me with you, Haruden. You're gonna fight for Elbaph? Well, I guess Loki wants to join the fight. And so much for them not being able to move for like a few months from all their injuries. They actually look pretty cool bandaged up, I'm not gonna lie. And we see them without the helmet for once, and those horns are indeed coming out of Loki's head. There was a bunch of theories about people saying that he just stuck them in his helmet after ripping them off his dad, but I guess that's been debunked. Alright, it's time to move on to page 4 and 5. Of course, Hiroden's not taking him anywhere. Seems like there's one more review with Supreme King Hockey. Only one. So Gabon is looking at Sanji. Who, me? I had a feeling. I'm tired of Ma Sad and Jinbai stealing all my glory. You there, swordsman. You seem quite at ease with it. Wait, I can use Supreme King Hockey? You didn't even know? It's flowing out of you. Luffy freaking out. Unbelievable. Haki is power only useful when you consciously control it. How do you expect to support your captain and emperor without knowing that? So Zoro being an idiot. So he didn't even, which does actually line up with what happened in Wano. He didn't know he was using Supreme King Haki. Hey Gramps, what about me, this pathetic Rudin? You'd rather have outsiders save our island? Elbaph has me already. Sanji's upset. Elbaph already has me. Is that a fact? Because I could certainly see you betraying Elbaph and joining the side of the government instead. You more or less already did that once. How can I possibly trust you? Ariarden, wasted time means more victims. Alright, Luffy's calling out the Loki. And we're now at pages 6 and 7. The red dot's moving really far at the bottom if you can keep a track of it. It's right there, and it's gonna move across. Join my crewmate. Luffy, stop doing that. And we can set him free, Arjun. I see what Luffy's doing here. If Loki agrees to be part of Luffy's crew, then it's no longer Rudin's responsibility, I guess, is what Luffy's probably thinking. Huh? Forget about it, Luffy. There's no way this enormous freak fits on our ship. Of course, that's what everyone would say. That's what Usopp would say. But we're hearing it from Zoro. What about the food he eats? He eats more than you. Sanji, thank you for the input. Come on, it sounds like Elbaph doesn't want you around anyway. I think it'd be fun with you, and if anyone's got a problem, I'll whoop him. And okay, Luffy's pissed. I will never be a henchman for you. Is that what your instinct tells you, Straw Hat? I want to see him fight. Alright, what's the holdup? We got Shu Shalif. Goldberg and his lisp. Coming now. Sorry, Straw Hat, but Elbaph has condemned Loki to death. You can't have him. Aw, darn. Alright. Go on and unlock Loki's... Whoa, Gabon's on board! Not you too, Mr. Ya! Why do you say this? Loki killed 113 soldiers in Castle 14 years ago. Why is it called... Oh, sorry, in the Castle 14 years ago. Castle 14 years... I don't know why I read that as Castle 14. It's like, oh, there's 13 other castles? He gave Thief Jarl a most grievous wound and slaughtered his own father. His crimes are monstrous and a historic scale. Alrighty, pages 8 and 9. I know, but the day it happened, we felt an extreme abnormal haki from the castle. Shanks and I headed for Arist Castle together. We didn't see the whole thing. But we were there. You what? Huh? Did you just say... Luffy, do you only hear stuff when Shanks is mentioned? Sorry, Stanson, you'll have to go up first. So, Sanji, we'll catch up soon. Okay, so Sanji and Zoro are going up with the giant warrior pirates. Aruden and Luffy are staying behind to hear a story from Mr. Ya. Shanks, obsessed fool. Don't call Shanks a fool. He's calling you a fool. Thank you, Sanji. Alright, Gabon. Who better to tell the story than Aruden? Who better to tell the story than Haruden? You're still brothers, even if your mothers are different. You have 3 minutes to explain everything. What happened in the castle that day 14 years ago, Loki? If you're a true warrior of Elbaph, then swear by the name of God and speak the truth. This is a cruel demand, brother. You want me to relive that event? I'd rather not remember the details. It was a horrible day. He said the title of the chapter. Alright, guys, this has been a fun stream. I'll see you all next time, and I look forward to whatever the next chapter is next week, since we've ended here on page 9. Okay. Okay, I guess we're flashing back. Alright, someone's coming from the sky 14 years ago. Arist Castle, Elbaph. Alright, we're into flashback with the black paneling. Oh no, Loki. I mean, Prince Loki has returned. Chief Jarl is here as well. Alright, page 10 time. He summoned you too, Loki? Hey, we're your family. You looking good, though, old man. Just try not to live 700 years, eh? Oh, sorry, that's not 700. It's 2, but it's in italics, so it's kind of in bold, so I thought it was 700. Just try not to live too long, eh? Shut your mouth. His Majesty is in the throne room. What does he want with me, anyway? I have no interest in a man who'd sell his soul to the world government. These are the people who killed Rox. If Elbaph is going in that direction, they'll make an enemy out of me. Lower the volume. I'm an old man now. I'd rather leave the politics to the younger folks. And that lackadaisical attitude is exactly the problem. It's how you end up peace-addicted children with no idea of how to swing a weapon. That's the age we live in. My granddaughter's granddaughter doesn't fight, and she's adorable. Soft old dullard. Train her up, and use some discipline. It's that ruckus that's coming from the throne room. Chief Jarl, thank you for coming. And Loki, my prince, welcome back. Hey, I heard that. Just a minute, let me check with the king. He summoned me here, this is my home. Just open the damn door, you clown. Stop, no violence, your highness. And he kicked the door open. Hey, Pop, I'm back. Ooh, he cut off. Kashunk. Oh, that's not good. Bunch of people are stabbing a shadow monster. Your Majesty. Is everyone killing King Harold? Harold? What's going on in here? The Sun World, Gabon's house. The view's simply enormous. This place is the best. Ain't it? Been a while since we shared a good bath together. What's it been? 3 or 4 years? Are you kidding? Captain died 10 years ago. Has it really been that long? It must feel like an eternity for you then. Okay, so this is Gabon and Shanks having a bath together. Not exactly what I was expecting in this chapter, but okay, it's something. We get Shanks in the chapter. Everybody gets excited when Shanks is in the chapter. Me, I think he's spending so much time not in the chapter that I could honestly care less. Where was I? I lost my place in the paneling. My life's changed entirely. My plan was to join up with Buggy and lead a laid-back pirating life. But even here in Elbaph, there's so much more fun to learn. There's so much more to learn, not more fun. You're a child of fate, Shanks. Don't bother why is that in bold? Child of fate. Don't bother thinking over tricky little details. You remember Little Garden, the island where we met Dory and Broggy? Of course. Alrighty, here we go. Pages 14 and 15. How does the water feel, Mr. Yaw? And Shanks? Ah, that scared me. So this is 14 years in the past. He's got to have been married to Ripley for like 5 or 6 years at this point. Because Colin is 20. Which Colin was born 6 years before this. Shanks is freaking out. Ah, that scared me. Shanksy! Feels great. Thanks, Ripley. Where are they made? Are they like on a little dish? Off to the, they're like in a little hot tub, I guess, off to the side of the room. She seems to like it when I'm at eye level like this. I guess this is how you have to design your house if you live with a giant, huh? I've got, what is that word? Lingonberry tart for you. Have some wine with it if you like. Tell me some stories about Mr. Yaw's younger days, Shanksy. Oh boy, tales I could tell. At every single port of call, Gabon had a different. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, wow. He really is the Sanji of the Roger Pirates. He had a girlfriend at every single port, which in the post-time skip, Sanji has effectively had a girlfriend in every single arc. Someone has fallen more or less, or at least tolerated him. In Fishman Island, it was the ladies of Mermaid Cove. In Punk Hazard, it was, weirdly, I guess, the people of G5. In Dressrosa, it's obviously Viola. And then in Whole Cake, we have Pudding. Wano, we had some of those courtesan girls. I forget their names. Like I said, they've only been mentioned like once or twice. One of them had a little mouse. And, I guess, surprisingly, Stussy didn't seem repulsed by him in Egghead. Do we count that? And Gerd seems to really like him in Elbaph. So yeah, Sanji seems to have a new girl at every single arc. Hey, Dunk, you want to leave this island alive? You know much about King Harold? They worship him like a god here in Elbaph. Yeah, I met him in Marijoa. We got along all right. Oh, Shanks met him in Marijoa. He met Harold in Marijoa. Harold's been to Marijoa. I guess that makes sense since he was like trying to open up trade with the world government. But there was something we couldn't talk about in the Holy Land. So if he's back home, I'd like to meet him and discuss it before it's too late. On this day, there was a massacre in the castle, and the most beloved king in Elbaph's history, wise King Harold, perished. Let me out. Who blocked the door? Help! Chief Jarl got the sword stabbed through him. There's a tiny little sliver of a panel of a lock falling. This is the treasure of Elbaph, the forbidden devil fruit. But what was it that caused people to praise him so? Interesting. For that, we must go far back in time. We're going to 70... Sorry. Going to... That's the 2 in the italics and bold again, which looks like 70. 109 years before the present. This is a crazy flashback. 109 years ago. When the question was the most frightening thing on the sea. Would elicit a unanimous answer. The giant pirate crew were the most widely feared figures of the day. At the same time, the royal ship from the Land of Giants only enhanced the fear the world felt towards Elbaph. I hear there's a beautiful princess in the castle. Take a look. Aye. And a major reason for that. Oopsie, my foot slipped, and there goes a castle. Please don't do that, Your Majesty. King of Warland, Elbaph Island, Harold. Barahahaha. Was that Harold, King of Elbaph, who ascended the throne at just 45 years old. 15 in human years. I think that's a typo. I think it should say in giant years. Who's your god now? A lowlife. Was undeniably a lowlife scumbag. He's going around knocking over castles like he's a bully kicking sand. That's hilarious. I wonder how he calmed down. And I wonder if this flashback's going to continue. This is the end of the chapter, so I guess it's time for my chapter review / predictions section. So, obvious predictions, we'll get that out of the way next. I predict the flashback will continue for another 1 to 3 chapters. And we're going to get to see some insight on Harold, how he met Loki's mom, how he met Harun's mom, and then how he ascended or not ascended the throne, how he calmed down and eventually sided with the government, and then we lead back into the massacre. That seems to be the only thing I imagine we predict. That's the easy predictions. And I guess we can cut this prediction section out of most of the upcoming chapters. So, highlight of the chapter for me probably has to be this flashback sequence with Shanks. It's easily the high point. It's just funny that they look like they're in a forest looking out, but then we cut back and they're basically in the windowsill of a house. That's kind of fun. And also the reveal that Gabon was quite the ladies' man, apparently. And this slightly younger Gabon from like 14 years ago, I actually kind of like his design quite a bit. He's got his hair's black at the bottom, and you can tell it's starting to whiten at the top. Or maybe he's dyeing it yellow. I don't know what the official color scheme will be when we eventually get the colored version. And we're starting to get some theories confirmed. It's starting to look like it was King Harold that went wild and killed all those people. And he probably got Dami reversied. It's the best guess. Frankly, I'm running out of things to say. The Loki flashback was kind of drawn out. We got a lot of conversation out of it. We got some really good paneling. This one tiny panel, actually, of Chief Jarl having the full sword shoved through him looks a lot more visceral. We haven't exactly seen Chief Jarl from behind, so we haven't really seen what that sword looks like on the other side of his head yet. But it's a good thing he was wearing a helmet, because everyone knows if he wasn't wearing a helmet, that would have killed him. I also just noticed that Ripley is holding 6-year-old Colin, and he's like already like this big in her arms. So Colin is pretty big at age 6. Also, because of this flashback at the end, we actually have an idea of how old King Harold is now. So he was 45 years old 109 years ago, which means that he was 154 at the time of his death. Oh, no, wait, he died 14 years ago. So, 145, I guess. "109 years ago" is a very oddly specific date. I wonder if it's a reference to something, or like 109 in like katakana or hiragana is like some kind of number pun. Oda loves using those. And I guess I will probably at some point tomorrow, most likely while I'm doing laundry, I'm probably going to listen to Randy Choi's live stream of reading through 1152, because I'm really interested to hear his opinions. Well, anyway, we've been streaming for 30 minutes now, which means that, as of currently, it is midnight exactly. It is now Monday. It is the 23rd. I didn't get around to streaming this till way late because I had so much editing to do. We've been doing a lot of streaming lately. I have done a full playthrough of the story of Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, the first half of which has been uploaded to the YouTube channel, and I'm going to start editing this before I edit the second half of that, so that I can get that out on a decent amount of time. And as of right now, while I'm seeing this, my reaction to the version 3.4 special program for Honkai Star Rail should have gone live. So, look forward to that, or give that a watch if you haven't yet. And there is a Myriad Celestia trailer that should be coming out pretty soon. It's going to be, we know what it's going to be now, and it's going to be like Tales from the Stars Part 2. So I never did a reaction to Tales of the Stars Part 1. I have seen it, though. So we'll probably do a back-to-back review of them, one to the other, so that we can watch them in sequence, just as a refresher for those who might not have seen the first part. So we can have all that in one go on the channel. And that's my plan for that. I'm not going to do a reaction to the animated short this time, because I have a sneaking suspicion it will be inserted into the game. Though it is a music video, so it might not be. So when I play through the story at 3.4, if we don't see it, we will go back and do a reaction to it. I don't like doing reactions to stuff that's very late, but that being said, the very first React thing we ever did on this channel was the Kafka trailer, like 2 years after it came out almost. So, there is that. So, anyway, let's get into the outro and just say thank you everybody for stopping by. If you enjoy this content or you'd like to see other people's opinion, I'd recommend Randy Troy or Roger's Base. Those are the two people whose chapter reactions I always look to. And some of what I emulate here. Anywho, if you want more of me, you know where to find me. I put links where links are, and the Discord is the best way to stay informed on what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. Stay safe, everyone, and I will see you all next time.